Happy Hump Day, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm your coach, your host, David On Point. Right there is the CEO of Prime Sports World, Mr. Israel Rivera. And thank you very much for checking us out. Please like, share, and subscribe to Prime Sports World. We go live basically every single day, bringing the most up-to-date content, so you don't want to miss that stuff. Anyways, yeah, if you're looking for consistent content, please like, share, and subscribe. This is going to be our 2023 Fantasy Football Rankings, week number 6. Hopefully you guys are helping you guys get through your season. Man, I had probably the worst fantasy week I've had in a long, long time. I literally lost all of my matchups, all of them. Like I didn't win any.
Man, that's rough, man.
I'm in 7 leagues. I didn't win a single one.
He went over. He hit an over. He hit an over.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah, it was not a good time. Not a good time.
Yeah, I'm only in 4 leagues this year. But I went 3-1. I'm still winless in AJ's league, man. I've never been winless in that league.
I got like one win in that league.
I've always made the playoffs in that league. I've been to the championship twice in that league. And yeah, I need to come back real hard because otherwise I'm going to be out of it pretty soon. So
me too. I feel you. But yeah, this is going to be our week 6 fantasy football ranking. So please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I've also shared the StreamYard link. So if you want to join us and talk a little fantasy football, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's get into this right now. With our quarterback rankings, I'll go first. My number 1 is Lamar Jackson. I just think he has a great matchup. I think he's going to put up massive numbers. 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are going to have a duel between the two of them. 4, Kyler Murray. Going up against the suspect defense, Kyler Murray's going to have a good game there. 5, Jalen Hurts. 6, Kirk Cousins. 7, Tom Brady. 8, Justin Herbert. 9, Joe Burrow. And 10, Geno Smith, believe it or not, is in my top 10. He's in your top 10 too. My outside looking again, I got Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz, and then Justin Fields also my outside looking in. My cheap and daily, yeah, Geno Smith, 5,700. I think you can do worse than Mr. Geno Smith there.
Yeah, you can't do worse than Geno Smith. I think he has a good matchup this week as well. Starting off with my number 1 guy, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. I expect this matchup between the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs to be one with a lot of fireworks. So I expect, if you guys, know last time they played in the playoffs, that was a ridiculous stat line game for both quarterbacks. So I expect the same results this week. Number 3, I got Jalen Hurts. Number 4, Kyler Murray. 5, Lamar Jackson. Number 6, Geno Smith. I'm a little higher on Geno than you are, man. I think going up against Arizona at home, I think Geno's played really well, has a great command of the offense. I think Geno Smith put some numbers up against Arizona this week.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I have him in the top 10.
Yeah.
I do think there's value there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, you got him as a cheapie in daily. And then at number 7, Tom Brady going up against the woeful Pittsburgh Steelers. He has a great matchup there. He's just been throwing the football a lot lately, so he has a lot of fantasy value, especially this week. Number 8, Kirk Cousins going up against Miami Dolphins team that is missing probably 2 of their best cornerbacks in the secondary. So Kirk Cousins has some value this week in the top 10 as well. And then number 9, right on my top 10, I got number 9 Aaron Rodgers and number 10 Justin Herbert. Usually I'd have Justin Herbert a little bit higher. Don't know if Keenan Allen is coming back this week. It's kind of looking that way a little bit. But even if going against the Denver Broncos, they've been all right defensively.
They've been really good defensively.
They've been really good defensively. I don't expect like those high value numbers that Justin Herbert puts up through the air. Or even I expect Austin Eckler to get a little bit of some shine this week. And then outside looking, I got Joe Burrow, Carson Wentz going up against the Bears, and then Justin Fields going up against the Washington. I'm just going to call them the Washington football team. Forget that mess. Anyways, and then my cheap option in daily is Justin Fields at 6,600 in FanDuel going up against the Washington football team or Commanders, whatever. Okay, I'll be nice. I just think he has some value.
As long as you don't call him by that other name, I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah. I think Justin Fields has some value there, going up against Carson Wentz and going up against that defense in particular.
Dreadful defense, dreadful secondary.
Defense. I expect him to get at least a rushing touchdown in this game.
I 100% agree with you. Moving on from quarterbacks, let's swing into those running backs. We're swinging on your top 10.
Whew, top 10, man. Saquon Barkley at number 1, man. He's been the best running back so far this year in football.
I think Nick Chubb might have something to say about that, but
and that's why he's number 2. That's why he's number 2. Don't he's number 1 on your list. He's number 2 right there. But yeah, Nick Chubb's been amazing as well. He's number 2. And number 3, Austin Eckler. I think he is going to get a lot of shine in that matchup against Denver. They'll use him a lot out in open space in the screen game as well. Number 4, Dalvin Cook. Number 5, Alvin Kamara. He's actually, man, he had a great game last week. Expect him to, keep it up this week. Going up against the I can't remember. I'm all up going up against Cincinnati. Yeah, going up against the Bengals. And then number 6, I got Aaron Jones going up against the Jets. I just think that at home they're gonna utilize Aaron Jones a lot here against that young Jets defense. Number 7, Breece Hall. Just because Breece Hall's been coming on live, he's doing a little bit of everything for the Jets, and Packers defense has to show me something. They haven't been good against running backs this year. And number 8, Kenneth Walker going up against the Arizona Cardinals. I love that matchup.
You're way too high on him. I'm just telling you. You're way too high.
I have two rookies in my top 10.
Way too high on Kenneth Walker.
Don't hate.
I'm not hating. I'm just that's way too high for me. They have him over Ramondre Stevenson and Jeff Wilson, who both have good matchups. That was like a whole lot of sense to me. But
anyways, and then round out my top 10, I got Ramondre Stevenson. I just think New England's gonna run that football a lot against Cleveland. He had a great game last week. I think he,
Damon Harris probably out, so look for him to get a bulk of the carries.
Yeah, get a bulk of those carries against Cleveland. And then number 10, round out my top 10, I got Jeff Wilson, who just has a nose for the end zone, especially down there in the red zone. So look for Jeff Wilson. I forget who they're playing this week. Golly, mine's escaping me right now.
Atlanta? No.
They're playing Atlanta. Yeah, so look for Jeff Wilson to possibly get in the end zone this week in the red zone. And then I'm outside looking at, I got Leonard Fournette, Miles Sanders, and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey may be gone by in a couple weeks. He may be in another team in a couple weeks for sure. He might not even make it to the next game. Yeah, he may not make it to the next game. So watch out for that. Miles Sanders going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I like that matchup a lot, especially at the link. And then, Christian McCaffrey, I just think, let's see what happens with who's the interim head coach? Is it Steve Wilks?
Yes, it is.
Steve Wilks. Let's see what happens with Christian McCaffrey And usually when we have these interim head coaches, a new coaching chain kind of gives you some juice or some rejuvenation, at least for one game. So look for Christian McCaffrey to do something, I guess. I see him a lot in top 10 ranking.
They're going to be playing a Rams team that's lost 2 straight in a humiliating fashion. I don't think that's going to be the case. But
no, and understandable. Yeah, no, I think, but I just.
I have Christian McCaffrey even higher than you do. So
yeah. Oh, you got Christian McCaffrey higher than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then my cheap option in daily is Deion Jackson from the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I don't think Jonathan Taylor's playing in this game. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the injury report, but I know from yesterday he wasn't playing.
He should be.
Then Naeem
I think
Hines,
he's trending in the right direction. So
yeah, and then Naeem Hines might be out in this game as well. But then between him and Phillip Lindsay, Deion Jackson, had the bulk of the carries. So, look at Deion Jackson to, have some fantasy value if that's the case at 5,600.
I don't hate that. To my running backs, I got number 1. I got Nick Chubb. The dude's been awesome. He's going to be the bell cow going into for the Cleveland Browns, no matter who they're playing. Alvin Kamara, number 2. 3, Leonard Fournette. Lombardi Lenny has been awesome this season in passing game and in the running game. 4, Aaron Jones. I look for it to be a big Aaron Jones game, especially since Aaron Rodgers potentially might not play in this game. He's got a shoulder injury that could keep him out. They haven't looked at the latest report. 5 is Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he's been a really good running back. I just don't love this matchup against Baltimore. I think they'll find a way to stop him. 6, Christian McCaffrey. 7, Dalvin Cook. 8, David Montgomery. 9, Mr. Brees Hall. Good shooting in the wheels last week. Jeff Wilson Jr., as you said, has a nose for the end zone. He's going up against an Atlanta Falcons team. And then Ramondre Stevenson is in my outside looking in. Look for him to have a bulk of the carries there for the New England Patriots with no Damian Harris. Austin Eckler, a little bit lower than Austin Eckler, a lot lower actually than Austin Eckler than you are. I just think that this Denver Broncos defense is good. Like, they're a good unit. They stop the run. They stop the pass. Like, it's going to be a tough sledding for the Chargers. I still think they're going to win the game. I think Austin Eckler is going to struggle in this game. I think his yard per carry might be like 2.5. If he doesn't get in the end zone, I think he's worth starting. 3, Miles Sanders. That Eagles team, that machine just continues to churn as they roll into Dallas. Look for them to be up big potentially and ice the game away with Miles Sanders.
They're at home.
And then my sneaky and daily Kenneth Walker III at 5,400. I do agree that he has some immense upside. He's the only running back there now for the Seattle Seahawks. Now that Rashad Penny is out for a long time, probably the rest of the season, more than likely, unless he has some miracle cream that allow him to fix a break in fibia in record time. And then Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, 4,900 there, has been good, and they seem to be using him a little bit in the red zone. I know that's a very loaded backfield there for Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is there.
Jared McKinnon, you got him over Jared McKinnon?
Yeah, I would rather start Isaiah Pacheco over both, at least over McKinnon. That's just my opinion. 4,900 is so cheap for running back too. If he gets in the end zone, if he gets in the end zone, it's super worth it. Moving on from the running backs, we got the wide receivers. My number 1 is Mr. Cooper Kupp. He is the only staple in that offense, the Rams, you can really bank on at this point. None of their running backs, outside maybe Tyler Higbee. 2, A.J. Brown. Look for A.J. Brown to have a good game here. 3, Stephon Diggs. 4, Deebo Samuel. 5, Jamar Chase. 6, Mike Evans. 7, Justin Jefferson. 8, Tyreek Hill. 9, Marquise Brown, Holly Brown. The rapport between him and Kyler Murray has been strong this season. And then 10, I got Michael Pittman Jr. Number 11, or outside looking in, I got CeeDee Lamb. 2, Mike Williams. 3, Christian Kirk. And the reason I have Mike Williams so low is that Denver defense is good. It just is. Then my sneaky and daily, Alec Pierce at 4,300. And then if you want to get really sneaky and daily, Shi Smith. If you don't know what team Shi Smith plays for, he is a wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. He's a value at 3,600. And I think through 5 weeks of the season, he is the leading receiver for that team. He has more receiving yards than anybody else on the roster. 3,600 for Shi Smith.
Yeah, they definitely going to be passing the football. They're down most of the damn game. Yeah, God, man, what that one came from left field with that Shi Smith pick right there. I did not expect that. Anyways, number 1, Cooper Kupp, same reason. He's the only big time threat for the Rams, essentially. Number 2, Justin Jefferson. Number 3, Mike Evans. All 3 of those guys just have great value, man. I mean, they have some great matchups. Horrible defenses that they're playing going up against. Number 4, Stephon Diggs. Number 5, Jamar Chase. Number 6, A.J. Brown. 7, Hollywood Brown, baby. Hollywood. Number 8, Gabriel Davis. Number 9, DK Metcalf. And then round out my top 10, I got Mike Williams from the Los Angeles Chargers going up against Denver. And then I'm outside looking in. I got Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, and T. Higgins. And then if you were looking for a cheap option in fantasy, in FanDuel, look no other than Khalil Shakir. Another rookie here in my fantasy rankings. I just believe Khalil Shakir, he had a nice little breakout game last week, but I think this week, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be a barn burner. I think Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and Khalil Shakir all going to eat in this game. Go with Khalil Shakir.
Yeah. Also, I don't expect Isaiah McKenzie to play in this game, so he should open up a bigger role for Khalil Shakir in this game. I think he's coming off a concussion or something of that nature for Gabriel. For Isaiah McKenzie. From the wide receivers to your tight ends. Let's hear the rankings when you got your tight ends.
At number 1, Travis Kelce had 4 tutties last week. 4 tutties, 4 baby, 4 for 4. This week he's gonna have another outstanding performance going against the Buffalo Bills because those 2 teams he loves to play, Las Vegas Raiders and those Buffalo Bills, always seems to have a good game against them. At number 2, Dallas Goedert. Number 3, Mark Andrews. Number 4, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is Zach Ertz has reemerged as a top 5 fantasy football tight end this season. I'm proud of that guy, man. Everybody wrote him off, but he didn't write back. Words of Geno Smith right there, right?
Stop it.
Number 5, Tyler Higbee. Man, this guy has been outside of Cooper Kupp. This guy has been Matthew Stafford's second best option in the passing game. Shout out to Tyler Higbee. He's getting some love from me this year. At number 6, Taysom Hill, who really isn't a tight end, but he's labeled in fantasy as a tight end. It's so weird. They line him up all over the place. Quarterback, wildcat, wide receiver, tight end, kickoff return, kickoff on the kickoff, on the punt. Taysom Hill has some value here this week. I think he gets a touchdown or 2 this week going up against Cincinnati. And then number 7, Hayden Hurst. He's just been pretty good. He's been really good this year for Cincinnati. Outside of T. Higgins, and Jamar.
He's looking for him in the red zone. I mean, Hayden Hurst has been has been as good as advertised when they signed him this offseason.
Yes, sir. And then number 8, I can't ignore George Kittle. He's been a little bit lackluster since he's come back, but I think he has a good matchup against Atlanta this week. So look for George Kittle to do some damage against that defense. And then right on my top 10, I got Irv Smith Jr. has another good matchup, and then David Njoku, who going against New England. I mean, David Njoku's just he's kind of reemerging himself back in as a kind of, he's looking like what we all thought he should be, elite tight end with some elite skills. So look for David Njoku to do some damage there against New England. And then I'm outside looking in. I got Gerald Everett, who I expect to have more than 1 catch this week. And then Robert Tonyan and Tyler Conklin, both of those guys going up against each other. One plays for the Jets, so Tonyan playing for the Green Bay Packers. I expect Rodgers to start looking Tanyan's way a little bit more against that young secondary. And then if you're looking for a cheap option in FanDuel, I have a theme tonight. It's rookies in my fantasy rankings, even if they're all over the place, even if they're on my cheap and FanDuel, I'm outside looking in or in my top 10. Daniel Bellinger at 4,700. He's been the most consistent rookie tight end this season, and Daniel Jones looks for him.
Is that saying a lot? I'm not sure that's saying all that much.
That's not saying a lot because there hasn't been many rookie tight ends playing, other than the guy from Indiana.
I mean, Woods, and then the kid from the Titans. That's been okay.
Yeah, it's been okay. Yeah. But Daniel Bellinger, he's at least been catching the ball 4 or 5 times a game, 4 receptions. I mean, Daniel Jones is looking for him. He's a security blanket. And then really outside of, who else are they throwing the ball to outside of like Saquon Barkley and Darius Slayton?
Who knows, dude?
Who knows, right? Daniel Bellinger
for sure shit at Kenny Galladay. So
swing for the fences, ladies and gentlemen.
Back to my tight ends. My number one is, of course, Travis Kelce. It would be disrespectful of me having him not after a 4-touchdown game. Two, Mark Andrews. He's still the most consistent weapon there in Baltimore. Three, Tyler Higbee. I'm totally on the same wavelength with you. He's been probably the second most consistent weapon for the Rams. Four, Hayden Hurst. He's been awesome this season. Five, Dallas Goedert. Six, George Kittle. Yes, George Kittle has been a little bit disappointing, but look for him to bounce back again as the Atlanta Falcons. Seven, Gerald Everett. I expect him to have more than one catch in this game. Eight, David Njoku. Nine, Taysom Hill. 10, Tyler Conklin. And then my outside looking in, I got Cole Kmet. Look for him to have a decent game there against the Washington Commanders. Zach Ertz, a little bit lower on Zach Ertz than you are, but I still think it's a pretty solid matchup going up against the Seattle Seahawks, who have been known to give up some yardage to this tight end position. And then my number three, I got Irv Smith Jr. He's been a focal point in the offense, been involved pretty heavily there for the Minnesota Vikings. And then my sneaky and daily is Adam Troutman at 3,000. He is the tight end for the New Orleans Saints. Caught a touchdown from the other tight end from the New Orleans Saints this past week from Taysom Hill. If he gets it in the end zone, it's probably worth it. And then Hayden Hurst is super cheap in daily too, 3,300 for a guy who had in my top 5 at tight end position. Yeah, start Hayden Hurst at 3,300 and have a good day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, if you're getting Hayden Hurst at that price. Yeah, I don't really play DraftKings like that, but yeah, that seems a little cheap. And Hayden Hurst has been balling this year.
For real. And then moving on from our tight end rankings to my defenses, my number one is the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Atlanta Falcons. 2, Buccaneers. Going up against a rookie quarterback and you're playing an angry Tom Brady team. Look for Tampa Bay. 3, the Packers. I am concerned now that Aaron Rodgers is potentially limited in this game, may not play. How much they're going to actually be on the football field because we've seen Jordan Love hasn't been pretty. 4, the Vikings. 5 is the Rams. And then my outside looking in, I got the Eagles and Cowboys at back-to-back. And then I got the Ravens. I think the Giants are due for one of those letdown games. This could be it against the Baltimore Ravens. Then my sneaky and daily is the Colts, 3,200, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been known to give up some turnovers here and there. Another sneaky and daily is actually the Jacksonville Jaguars in that same game. So if you want to roll the dice with either one of those two defenses, I think you could do worse.
Yeah, no, so it's funny. So when it came down to my sneaky and daily, those were actually the two teams that I wanted to put, but I just was kind of like going back and forth. Like, I don't know which one I should put. And I was thinking, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars lost some confidence in a way, losing to Houston, especially after, beating the Chargers and beating the Colts earlier in the season. So I was thinking, I'm really leaning towards the Colts. So I'm glad you put the Colts in there. They are cheap also in FanDuel. I just want to point that out to everybody. They're real cheap in FanDuel. And if I was to pick a sneaky and daily, I'd pick the Colts. Especially like if you don't want to pay a little bit extra money. I put the Rams there. Out of all the teams that I have in my rankings, the Rams were like, in the top 5, they were like the cheapest. So, I'd go for the Rams. I think they have a great matchup. And actually, starting off at number 1, it is the Los Angeles Rams. I just think going up against Carolina, this is the game in which that defense should dominate and bounce back, do something, show me something. I just think that this is the game against, they just fired the head coach. No Baker Mayfield. You're going up against PJ Walker. The team is not good. They're 1-4.
1-4.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is a team. This is a game in which the Los Angeles Rams should bounce back. I got them as my number 1 defense in fantasy this week. And then I got the Tampa Bay Bucks going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kenny Pickett. At number 3, I got the San Francisco 49ers going up against Atlanta, even though Atlanta's been a tough team out this year. And then at number 4, I got the Minnesota Vikings going up against Miami Dolphins and the third-string quarterback maybe.
Skylar Thompson's making the start for them.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson. So they should feast. They probably should be a little higher than that actually. And then number 5, I got the Green Bay Packers. This is a game in which, come on now, you're at home going against a young team, the New York Jets. This defense is so talented. They should be able to take advantage of the Jets this week. But we'll see. But yeah, I got them in my top 5. It's hard to not put them in there. And then my outside looking in, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cleveland Browns, and the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Giants. Even though the Giants have been pretty good. They've been all right, on both sides of football. The Cleveland Browns going up against the New England Patriots and Bailey Zappi. Man, he can't play. I don't understand. Like, they're going to be super one-dimensional.
It's
So
true. They're
they're
gonna
gonna
run the ball.
run the football. They may do what they did like last year, where like Mac Jones. How many pass attempts Mac Jones doing that one game where it was just
It
like
was like
super windy? Was it against the
8,
Buffalo Bills?
3, something like that. He only completed 2
Something
passes
like
the entire game.
that. Well,
So
Bailey Zappi might have like 10, but whatever. They're going to run the football. They're going to be one-dimensional. I expect the Cleveland Browns to have a good game against the New England Patriots. Then my sneaky and FanDuel is the Los Angeles Rams at 4,400. Like I said, I think I got them at the as the number one defense in my rankings, and out of the top 5, they're the cheapest. So.
And we got a question here from Mr. David Henderson. Thank you very much for always checking in on us. We appreciate you, man. He said, do you guys do a stardom, sit-em, and a fantasy football advice for the week? We do not currently do that show. There's just not a tough time in our schedules to make another show. But if we were to add a show, that would be it. But if you ask any questions during this particular show, we will answer them live on air. So if you have a question about who to start or have any traded questions, we will answer those questions live on air.
Yes,
but yeah, we don't necessarily have the time in our lives to
do a stardom sit-em. That's just a lot.
Like I already host like 6 shows every week, like and on top of my regular job and trying to have some sort of social life. It's just not in the cards. But yeah, so we gotta end the show the way we always end the show. Number one fantasy score will be who this week?
Oh God. I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson.
I did not have this guy as my number one quarterback, but I think if I'm predicting who's going to be the number one scorer, it's going to be Josh Allen going up against the Kansas City Chiefs defense that I don't think is all that good. Josh Allen should have a monster game here against the Kansas City Chiefs because he did the playoff game.
But
yeah,
maybe.
He might throw over 400 yards and 6 tutties, man. I mean, this game is going to be a shootout. It's probably going to be one of the most entertaining. Yeah, okay, David. Yeah, all these 6 shows.
This game should be on prime time, man. But whatever.
For real, dude. They should have flexed this game somewhere on Sunday night or something. But yeah, only 6 shows. That's not enough. Yeah, please, man. I ran 2 shows today. Like. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe. I've been David Huppin. Right there is Mr. CEO of Prime Sports Women, Mr. Israel Rivera. And Izzy, what we do here at the Prime, my friend?
Man, we bring the heat, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, I just didn't even smack that on the table, but I'll smack my hand on the table. There we go, baby.
We bring the heat, baby. We'll be back here tomorrow. We give you guys our games of the week, so you don't want to miss that content. I've been David Huppin, Israel Rivera. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace out, brother.